Hello, and welcome to Control, the other Remedy game that we're going to be playing.
Yes, hello everybody. I hope you're ready because this one kicks ass. It's great. I love it. I love it so much that my computer dies when I try to play it. So let me go ahead and take a look at the stream here on my side.
Please do.
A little bit. I might bump you up like a 10th.
You called
if that's
me.
possible.
So here I am.
Something like that. Yo, Control is great. If you liked... Wait.
I know I shut you out sometimes. I'm always glad to hear from you.
Try my best not to talk over
It's just
these.
that I get my hopes up. So many times it's led to nothing. I found nothing. It's like we live in a room and there's a poster on the wall. We stare at it and we think that's the whole world. The room and the poster. The picture's something nice. A landscape, a famous person. Like in that movie, what is it called? The prison movie. The room's a cell, and the picture, it's different for each of us. It can be beautiful or terrible, but we're all transfixed. But it's all a lie. Something to distract us from the truth. They're lying to us. We're lying to ourselves. The room's not the world. The world is much bigger and much stranger. There's a hole hidden behind that poster that leads to the real world. We all feel safe in that room. But sometimes something crawls out from behind the poster. And the ones that see it happen freak out and try to forget what they saw. I'm here. Why did you bring me here?
Hello? Anyone here?
Oh no, this doesn't run very good at all.
Oh no. Okay, so let me go ahead and say a couple of things right here while you figure some stuff out, okay?
Alright.
First of all, Control does not really make a big deal of it, but what I will say is if you have issues with epilepsy, any kind of photosensitive issues at all, Control is a game that will have, much in the way that Alan Wake has like kind of wind-ups to jump scares. Control has kind of wind-up and then sometimes no wind-up to not jump scares, but like rapid changes in visuals. So whether that's like bright reds on screen shifting right back to deep black, or just generally weird Lynchian looking visuals, it might give some people some headaches. So if for whatever reason you think that might be problematic, just be aware of that. It shouldn't be bright enough to really cause an issue, but be aware. The other thing that I would say is, yeah, you see, setting all those settings to low. Here's the deal, right? 505 Games has put out only a handful of products at this point, and from my limited experience with them, all of them have been like astoundingly gorgeous, and Control is no different. Even if you have everything at relatively low settings, it's pretty good looking game overall.
And it still runs badly.
Yes. So I got this game on my console because I got this game on PC and played it, and I was like, I've got a pretty beefy PC. I can handle this game. And fucking every time that Jessie was on screen and the camera got close to her hair, my GPU would just melt. Much in the same way that anytime Adam Jensen was on screen and specifically his trench coat was on, it was like in frame, just like dead, death, dying. Something that you might consider for streaming purposes is knocking it down to 720p.
I might have to.
That should help quite a bit.
The
But
nice
yeah, it is
thing- The nice thing that I can do is set output resolution and display resolution separately. So I can set it to display at my native resolution and just downscale it.
Control is certainly not lacking for options and customization.
Which is good. More games should be like that. More games should be good PC
like
ports instead of being bad PC ports.
Honestly, my stance on it is just like, if you have options, give me more options. If you have more options, give me the most options. Whatever option you can think to add it. Because like, worst case scenario, I break something and have to clean reboot, right? Like fucking worst case scenario. I would rather have the options and be able to potentially, I would like Control to be able to look like a potato if I wanted to.
Anything to get it to run.
Yes. I was able to get Control to run okay. Like, I was averaging about 80 FPS, which is really good, but not without fucking, like, melting things. It's a very pretty game. And it's a very cool game. Whereas Alan Wake is the kind of game, also I should mention, Bix, you feel free to not stream doubly to me on Discord. I kicked out of that because I figured already this was going to be heavy to dual stream.
You are probably correct.
The other thing that I would say is Alan Wake is these games are very much a part of each other in a lot of cool ways, as all of Remedy's games are. They all feed into each other. They all share like a connectivity that's really cool. Alan Wake is equal parts Twin Peaks and Stephen King, whereas Control is equal parts Twin Peaks and the X-Files, and SCP. SCP for sure. And it's interesting, right? Because when you take a look at Twin Peaks specifically, you can have that right down the middle between, all right, we have the parts of the game, we have the parts of the show and the movies where Cooper is in town and he's talking to people and he's having coffee and cherry pie and talking to the log lady. Or you have the moments where Cooper is having a dream sequence and shit with the Black Lodge is going on. Alan Wake is almost entirely the former, and Control is almost entirely the latter, which is excellent. If you like surrealist imagery and gameplay options and display options, Control is the game for you.
I'll tell you what, though. This is the one time I want an FPS cap setting, and there isn't one.
Oh, wait. Go back. You see something really important there. In possibly audio or interface. There is a fucking button that mutes copyrighted music so that you can Let's Play or stream it. It's either in audio or interface. I say this as somebody, I'm very appreciative of that because, dude, after I fucking fully edited that last part, mute copyrighted music, fucking mute that shit. every game should also have that button now, unfortunately, because the RIAA is a big sack of shit. Also, PSA. Apparently, the DMCA stuff going on with Twitch is doubly problematic now, because even if you have like copyrighted material in one of your streams and you delete it, you can still get filed. You can still get a copyright claim against it, because Twitch basically houses those copies on their side and doesn't immediately get rid of them as well, right?
But if it's not forward-facing, then how does anyone know? That's my question to you.
So the thing about that is, basically, there's no... The way that I understand it is that on Twitch's... On the side that is essentially Twitch's product library, there is no, like, encryption, and there is no... Like, you can easily get to it. Anybody who is looking for it can find it. So not only is it not gone, but it's not, like, obfuscated or put through a layer of obfuscation or anything. Like, it is there if you know how to look for it. And I say this as, hey, guess what? I just edited like an hour's worth of that Halo Reach footage, and I got a copyright notice for not using the music for Comsussor Todd at the end, but for using music that shares the melody as Comsussor Todd. The melody.
Copyright is the fucking worst.
Copyright is so bad. Like, I understand why it exists, but the copyright law is so outdated and backwards.
It's so broken.
It is incredibly broken and counterintuitive. But also counterproductive, because it doesn't help the people that it should actually help.
This is bumming me out. I can't actually get it above, like, 40. I might mess around with some Windows settings. Let's try this.
Yeah, you know what?
Because sometimes games will run better in borderless.
I was able
like
to
right
run
now.
it in borderless.
Right now, it runs better. What the
Yes,
fuck, man? Why does it run better?
When I ran it in borderless as well.
It runs better. Why does it run better? I'm gonna turn some of these settings back up and see what happens.
Don't look a gift game in the mouth, is what I would say to you.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep that motion blur off, though.
Fuck, yes. Also, film grain and motion blur. Definitely turn that stuff off.
I mean,
if it's on.
This is the highest settings, and this is almost playable.
Almost.
Like, I might let this rock for a bit, see if it gets any better.
Go for it.
Like, if not for the occasional stuttering, this would be perfectly playable. If only I could change the refresh rate on the fly. Turn on
so
VSync.
Ultimately, the thing that I got that was the most problematic for trying to run Control was about 20 to 30 minutes in, when I started having to talk to NPCs, and the camera would zoom in close on those character models, and the game just couldn't handle it. Anytime that, like, the camera was close enough to Jessie that she wasn't in third person, it was just like, it didn't like it.
Well, I'll say to you what I said before we started. I've got a 2060 in this thing. I hope it's good enough.
It should be just fine. I've got this cup of coffee. The other thing that I would say to you is, because I'm watching this on Twitch, feel free to cut me off if I start talking during a cutscene.
Right.
And maybe give me a lead in when a cutscene ends, because this game has a lot of them.
Federal Bureau of Control. Reminder. Certain objects are not allowed inside the Bureau. Recent incidents have necessitated an issued reminder on prohibited materials. Unauthorized weapons, pagers, laptops, smartwatches, smartphones, smart gaming devices, anything smart.
Anything smart.
Number 2, pencils. Any objects considered iconic representations of an archetypal concept, like rubber ducks and ketchup bottles. All materials under Bureau investigation is to be brought in through the private entrances. If you see any lobby personnel in breach of these policies, please notify your supervisor immediately. So they're getting started right away with the SCP shit. Any objects considered iconic representations of an archetypal concept, like rubber ducks and ketchup bottles.
If you have anything that, like, promotes emotion or ideas, fucking get that shit out of here. Cover your soda in a brown paper bag. We can't allow that inside the FPC because you don't know what's gonna happen.
You don't know what might perceive those ideas and do something with them.
Also, those items might not be what you thought they were when you brought them in.
Also true. Here's another piece of...
This seal. I saw it a long time ago.
Much
I
like
keep
Alan
seeing
Wake,
it in
these
my
things are
dreams.
all over the place. In fact, I think there might be more of them in this game than there are manuscript pages.
Major. Staffing surveillance. Unknown. Data center initiative. Construction. Unknown. Unknown. Expenditure summary for executive sector. Quarter 2. Minor. Office equipment. Janitorial costs. Unknown. Mold removal. And HQ livability costs. For cost breakdown spreadsheet, see page 5. For 5-year comparison chart, see page 9.
You guys like Redacted?
Yeah, there it is. There's going to be a lot of that.
Do you guys like looking at a
Black
piece
bars?
of paper and seeing nothing but Redacted?
Got a camera looking at me. Hey, stop it.
You get that thing out of my face.
Here's another door. Leads to the restroom.
Get that thing
leads
back
to the
where
game.
it came from, or so
leads
help
to the
me.
game freezing
So
for a
help
second.
me, so help me.
Must have been loading a new level.
So hey. Yeah. Yes. This game is fucking nuts in all the best ways. The Control, easily a contender for one of, if not the best, like, single-player
Federal
action
Bureau
game
of
of
Control.
all of the last
All
year.
these years, I've been looking for them, and they were hiding in plain sight.
And you know what else I like about it?
What?
With that in mind, it's about 15 hours, like, with the DLC. It gets in, it does what it needs to do, and it gets out.
Yeah, here's what we were talking about. No brands.
No.
You've got your
Fucking
crackers, your trail mix, your
pretzels.
pistachios, your potato chips, your pretzels, and your protein bars.
There can be no confusion.
There can be no representation of iconic ideas.
Listen,
We couldn't afford
It's
the
a-
licensing.
it's bad enough that we have these items in the building at all. Whatever you do, when you eat that pretzel, when you take that pretzel out of the bag, you fucking eat that shit immediately. You don't let anybody see the fact that it's a pretzel.
You're not even supposed to know that it's a pretzel. Federal Bureau of Control. Attention all unknown. Big fucking unknown. A shark through his we also don't know. All those secure. Nope, no fucking idea. Permission to what? Who cares? Following basic protocol. I got nothing. Shoot to kill. Whatever.
Good luck.
This is gonna be
Thanks.
a fun one.
Thanks. I like it. Thanks for the warning, I guess.
This is gonna be a good one.
I have a very deep appreciation for this game. I love all of Remedy's games, except for fuck, what was the time stop one? I didn't play that.
Was that a Remedy
Quantum
game?
Break.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, Quantum Break. Yeah.
I did not play that game
Because
but every
fucking
other...
Microsoft rubbed their dick all over it.
Yes, that was the least Remedy of the Remedy games, and it was still pretty fucking Remedy.
Federal Bureau of Control, hello. As you should all know by now, the R4 reports are due by the end of the week. We're still waiting on them from a number of people. If you need an extension, please request Form R or E from your supervisor. If you think you're exempt from filing an R4, then you'll need to get written permission from your department chief saying so. Remember, R4s are mandatory under Section 75.2 of the Employee Manual. If your R4 requires interdepartmental claims, then please contact the appropriate department head. Dr. Darling, Ms. Marshall, Mr. Salvador, or Mr. Kirkland as needed. They'll be busy on Thursday in their annual policy review, so please schedule accordingly. Best, your admin team.
Nothing will get done without corporate overhead.
Nothing is exempt. Nobody is exempt.
No one.
Hello?
If you think you're exempt, you might need to get permission to be exempt. You might need to get documentation providing documentation about your exemption.
Hey, excuse me?
And you better hope that that's all you need.
Cutscene time.
There you are. You are here about the job. Janitor's assistant. You need to go to the interview. Go that way to the elevator.
Thanks. Elevator that way. Got it.
Very good. I'm Ahti, the janitor, by the way. You'll work for me. You can say I sent you. If they don't hire you, then you are no helvet. There be work for the axe. Take them behind the sauna, jumalauta.
I've done enough night shift loner jobs to know it makes us come off weird.
New
Auntie the
mission.
janitor
Welcome
is
to
a
the
friendly
oldest
face
house.
in my book.
But
Yes.
think about it. No face.
If you
See deeper
another
into
thing,
the
another
bureau.
piece of work,
But that said,
another piece
I know
of
what you're
work
thinking.
that
If there's an
Control
ex-murderer
shares a lot
around,
with is
that's him.
the House of Blue Leaves, which, man, if you
Did I
ever
go
want
in
to
a
see, like,
fucking circle? I went in the circle.
maybe.
the cell and the poster. I was 11 years old the first time I saw behind the poster.
So,
They told me
House
I
of Blue
imagined it.
Leaves. If you ever
I've been
want to
trying to
see
pull it
what
down ever since.
surrealist horror looks like in a
Will you
book,
help?
check out that, because it is the closest thing that I can really think of in terms of like classic literature to what's going on in this game, and it's kind of awesome. A book that contains such lines as, "This book was not meant for you."
Something I will say about our protagonist so far. Based on how she looks, she doesn't sound like how I thought she would.
Yeah?
I had her figured for more of like Laura Bailey, kinda.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, she, like the consummate professional type lady.
Yeah.
A lot of it will come across in, like, she is absolutely that person. Also, this is some of the imagery that I'm talking about, where depending on who you are, some of this and the deepness of the contrast
Did I
might
lose you there for a moment?
might affect you more than others.
You know what's on my
Um,
mind. My baby brother.
Yeah.
Dylan.
She is a
17
very
years since the men of this
forceful
bureau took
person
him.
in a professional context, and it's one of the things I really like about her.
I mean, you
it
can
comes
already
across-
tell that she's going for it.
Yes, she is a woman with a mission, and she's not going to take any shit from this.
Oh shit,
or
it's
any other
happening already.
reality. Oh yeah. Now serving number 665.
Federal Bureau of Control, reminder regarding drafting any public-facing material. While penning any notifications of death related to the Willow AWE, Please adhere to the following guidelines. Words, phrases to use. In service of his or her country, regret, proud/pride will be remember. Words/phrases to avoid. Alaska, scissors, blood/bleed.
Excuse me.
Loss, or apologies/sorry.
That's tough. You ever been in a situation where somebody tells you to stop apologizing and the first thing that you say is, I'm sorry for apologizing?
Fucking no. I mean, I understand, but you know me.
I know you. Yo, check out that magazine on the table.
Oh, is there a magazine on the table?
Yeah, right in front of the thing that you read.
Economy, the retirement issue. The oldest man in the world? We tell ourselves it's okay to be old. Why am I not picking up this confidential folder? Oh shit.
My guess is because you would open it up and it would literally just be nothing but black bars.
Or it would just kill me. You open it up and reading it makes your brain turn inside out.
Ow, my brain!
Oh no, my brains.
I also really like that everything in this game, the things that I like about it are all in the little details, right?
Yeah.
Like, looking at the fucking fire alarm, and the fire alarm just says seek shelter.
It's also, you're not getting this, but it's going off right now.
Of course.
Which has me
Why
worried.
wouldn't it be?
Let's go in here.
You should be worried.
I can't
you
go in
You should very
here.
clearly not be here right now.
I need some kind of clearance card. Which I'm probably, depending on how long it takes for this game to tip its hand, I'm probably gonna find it on a dead guy.
Nah, you'll get it from Meryl. She's a couple rooms down.
Whoa, hey, spoilers.
Spoilers.
Man, that thing is just going to town.
It should be. It did its job. Everybody's gone.
Trench, do not disturb.
I
Federal
wouldn't
Bureau of
disturb a
Control.
guy whose last name is Trench.
Barbara, I am not to be disturbed. Cancel all of my appointments for the day, for the rest of the week. I can't trust them, Barbara. Not a single one. Trench.
That's not something you want to get from your boss.
The boss of bosses of the shadow government. Or whatever the hell.
The big man in the big suit at the FBI.
Or the FBC, as it were.
As it were.
So I can't open that. Which makes me
Open
wonder
what?
how much
Sorry?
backtracking there's gonna be.
This game it has shades of being a Metroidvania.
Oh. That explains why when I
build-
see people playing it, it shows up like on their friends list where they are.
Yes. The building of this game is ultimately not very big, and it is just the building.
Mission updated. Investigate the noise in the director's office.
Shit.
Also, like the
Shit,
concept
shit,
of looking at your friends list and it pops up with like, "Hey, I'm in a lobby
So
with
you
so
pick
and
it
so,"
up, the murder
is like
weapon?
so alien to me
Really?
because I always turn that shit off.
I didn't even know you could turn it off.
I hope you can. Or I guess the difference is that I
And there goes the poster.
Objects of power can cause or be results of AWE's altered world events, intrusions upon the perceived reality. Now, the service weapon is, of course, a prime example of an OOP, a very powerful one. Ingrained in the Bureau's DNA, a key component in our prime candidate program. Come out of that
Hey, look
Russian
who it
roulette a
is.
winner, and you're it.
Who is it?
Alan Wake. Looking pretty good in his old
Look at
age.
this place. Where am I?
So it's worth mentioning that this game has of course it has ray tracing, and boy does it. And you just take like one look at this environment and you're like, oh man, when this thing is running on full cylinders, no wonder it makes some of our computers like burst into flames.
Yeah.
How about that melee though, right?
Pretty good.
Just a boom.
Choose to be chosen. Now I understand why there's no reload button, because you only get one weapon. And it's this thing.
And it doesn't reload. God, the fucking gun is so weird. I love it.
It does it by itself. It's a recharge-o gun.
It is an anomaly.
You might say that.
I noticed that Discord is feeling the effects of the oldest house. And that it says it's one thing 1 minute, and then the next minute everything's falling apart.
Don't worry about it.
In fact, there's no reason for it. You might take a look at Discord and say, well, my connection is fine, thus, I should be coming through clearly. And instead, it makes me a robot.
Something's coming. This threat. An attack. Duty as director. Keep the Bureau safe.
Did you hear that? It's the dead man. Right after the pyramid spoke to me, and it was just noise, and I understood every word. And this gun's alive. You know what? I'm happy. Happy to be here. Things have quieted down outside. Is it safe to go?
Oh yeah, this is what I like.
That's what you like.
You can't let this happen. You can't let this happen.
Multiple things in this game. So, of all of the things in this game that are, like, very clearly wearing their influences on their sleeves, the smoking man is straight up the X-Files.
You stopped it. You... Oh, thank you. That was... horror.
So, in true Remedy style, we get a lot of these cutscenes that...
Come on now.
are not... So you know what my favorite thing about this game is?
What?
Destructible environments.
You want to run that by me again?
Destructible environments.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sorry, the game was chugging for a bit.
Oh no worries. The environment. The environment being what it is in Control is probably the most fun part about it.
The hotline.
Ooh.
Secure line of communication.
probably some of the most fun that I have in all of Control is just blowing away the windows and blinds and all that kind of stuff as I dodge and weave in between pillars. It's a fantastic time. They do a similar thing with this game that the first Fear game did really well, which is like, okay, if you're gonna have your environment be largely stone and concrete and just like flat surfaces and boring office interiors, have it be that way in service of the fact that you're doing all of this crazy action shit in between, because it's gonna highlight the action that much more.
It's true.
And man, Control as a game has just style to it that like it's so interesting that like the almost total lack of a quote-unquote art style or architecture is in itself so stylish.
Because it serves that idea of like the paranormal juxtaposed against the mundane.
And this place has to be so
mundane as fuck.
This thing cannot be more than a untextured gray cube, because the shit that they're dealing with is just so far beyond the pale that if it was anything more, you're just asking for trouble.
Mm-hmm. Federal Bureau of Control agenda items for next executive meeting. Rising costs of altered world event response. Update on mold eradication efforts. Upcoming annual salary review. New supplier of coffee filters to be found and vetted. Please come prepared. Thank you for your time.
So there's your AWE.
Mm-hmm. Now we know.
Now you know.
Oh, that's
Nobody
so
knows
much more destructible than I thought it would be.
Right? No, when I say destructible environments, I mean fucking destructible environments.
I thought just the glass would break.
No. Damn near everything in this game will break.
Hey, give me your clearance. Come down from there.
Get down! Get down from there! Get the fuck down!
Ooh.
Reminder.
Fucking jump!
If you experience an unanticipated building shift, follow these simple steps. 1. Search the
Tell you
room
what I'm
for
gonna have to
any
do. I'm gonna
altered
have
items
to
or objects of power.
load up chat in
2.
a different window
Carry
here,
the altered
because
item or object of power
Discord
to the
seems to be
nearest
having some
safe room.
issues.
3. Wait for bureau staff to
It
find
can't
you
handle the
and
geometry
object.
shifting.
If there are no altered items or objects of power in the vicinity, then reach your supervisor via the nearest intercom and await further instructions. Thank you for your attention.
As much as I would like to say that Discord is somehow an object of power, there's no power behind Discord.
It's an object of power, just in none of the ways that... Wait. No, I'm crazy.
Discord is an object of failure. Not to be confused with an objective failure, which it also is.
So this is the kind of shit that I like.
Mm-hmm.
It's just dead bodies floating for no reason. It's cool.
It's that first Death Stranding trailer.
Yeah. That's what we like.
It's the end of Eva, where everybody's just floating in orange tang.
Now what's this? A big shelter. Save room?
There is no manual loading or saving in the game. It's all autosave.
Federal Bureau of Control. Confidential. For Marshall's eyes only. Marshall, You checked out the suspected altered world event in Duluth. Wasn't anything. Just like the house fire before this, and the malfunctioning clothes dryer before that. My team is getting pretty sick of duds. We need you to find a better way to sort out the fake altered world events from the real things, or you need to rotate these field agents off for a bit. Anyways, we're en route to Sherman Ranch, next one on the list. Let's hope it's a little livelier there. Sincerely, Special Agent Keenum.
Can you think of a more potentially damning phrase in the oldest house than, ooh, what's this?
Ooh, piece of candy.
Ooh.
Depending on how bad the delay is, I might ask you to read some of these if there's going to be so many of them.
There are going to be a lot of them. I keep trying to reload. You might it might behoove you to try and redo the Discord stream for me.
I can try, and we can see how bad the delay is.
Yeah, like I said, there is more in this game than I believe there is in Alan Wake, and Alan Wake is like filled with it.
Go ahead and tell me if this works.
Yes, I do have your screen now.
How about audio, just out of curiosity?
Yes, actually, I can hear your footsteps.
Well, fucking A, ain't this a first?
Wow. How do you like that? That's literally the first time that's properly worked.
And the bad news is it makes the game run substantially worse.
Well then in that case it's not worth it.
Let's try something else.
Okay. Now, those of you at home might be thinking, wow, it sure does seem like reality is shifting and windows upon windows are looking at themselves. And that's correct. That's a feature of Control.
Still runs badly.
Yeah, forget it. I'll look on Discord and read it from here. Unfortunately, this game is incredibly pretty.
Unfortunately, my CPU is the oldest part in this system.
My overall review of Control is, unfortunately, it's pretty.
Let's get a look at some of these posters. Avoid modern technology. Synchronicity Research Department. Don't let mold hitch a ride. Perform daily body checks for foreign plant matter. Lumpy.
I like the continued theme in this and something like Dresden Files of like, hey, old technology like typewriters and pens and quills, those are okay because they don't burst into flames. Nobody on this floor has like a laptop because they can't.
Is that a stapler or an altered item? Don't take office equipment outside of the building. Office rules of conduct. Speak in moderate volume, no personal calls, no food or drink around bureau documents or in the copy room. No using the photocopier for personal projects, or the 3D printer, or the bureau stationery. Wear access badge at all times. No discussing confidential objects out loud. The one to finish the coffee pot makes a new one.
Fucking refill the filters. Get
Can't
that filter
find
out
your
of there.
office? Watch your step.
Get a new one.
They are reciting as well. Like in addition to floating in the air, they are saying things.
Oh yeah.
Delays
They're
caused
not
by
dead.
house shifts do not count towards overtime.
Despite all appearances to the contrary, they are not dead.
Yeah. Acoustic guitar for sale. Turns out it's pretty hard. If interested, seek Greg in maintenance.
Fucking Greg. I am not gonna talk to Greg. I don't care how cheap this guitar is. It's not worth talking to Greg.
Let's work hard. His life is in your hands. Everyone's safety depends on you. I'm loving these motivational posters.
They're really, really good.
Oh, yeah? Don't
Sorry.
read confidential correspondence. It's not just rude, it's illegal.
If you're not allowed to
Central
read it,
executive.
get it out of my face.
The hissing sound that tried to
You don't
evade
know where
me
that paper
earlier.
came from.
The hiss. Burrowing into everything in this place. Is the hiss your enemy?
I love that.
Alright, it's our.
I absolutely adore the font work in this game.
It's really good.
It reminds me more than anything of it reminds me of Kill la Kill.
Or like anything from Studio Trigger, really.
Yes.
Federal Bureau of Control. How to handle unscheduled visitors entering the lobby. Start with the following. Welcome to the Federal Bureau of Control, established in 1964 as part of an effort to strengthen government relations. We are proud to serve the United States and her people as we strive for transparency and excellence in all aspects of our esteemed nation's infrastructure. If they do not leave, ask them these questions. Are you here to see someone? Are you from New York City or just visiting? How'd you find this place? If their answers are sufficiently harmless, explain that this is a secure federal office and that they'll need to leave. If their answers seem unknown, escort them to a private room. There, perform the gunner's psychological assessment. If their responses are within the acceptable range of deviance, see the provided scoring sheet, then them immediately. Remember, there's no such thing as too suspicious.
People are not allowed to be here. If some dude just wanders in off the street, first of all, that shouldn't be possible. Second of all, they need to leave.
That babble's contagious. It burrows in like an infuriating melody that makes you hum it over and over.
Like, it's as dangerous. It is as much for their safety as it is for our own. I really like the characterization of this place being ungodly dangerous to even the people who work and manage it.
You want to take this one?
Examination of paranatural topics, urban legends. Urban legends are believed to affect the creation of altered materials, but can also dictate the characteristics of an altered world event. Urban legends are understood as the modern evolution of Jung's archetypes. We recognize certain unknown, informed by our own unknown, and popularized by our media. We have additionally proven that urban legends can be even artificially unknown in popular culture, utilizing unknown. Our bureau-made anthology television program.
The X-Files.
Ooh, keep that in mind. Once the seeds are sown, human imagination exasperates the details. Certain paranatural phenomena contain clear elements of popularized folklore, AWEs that only occur on unknown, a pair of scissors that consume human unknown through two punctures on the unknown. These details, living in the minds of so many, have been given strength through belief. Urban legends are not just stories for children, they are paranatural realities waiting to happen. Refer to file 493-6942 for full report.
So guess what?
What?
Humans are psychers, again.
Yes.
Just like in Final Fantasy XIV, where just belief is enough to make something happen. And just like
Everything.
Warhammer 40k, where orcs believing something is enough to make it true.
All myths are real because we're dumb enough to believe it.
Strength through belief. Oh, here's something.
You think, therefore it is.
Field research on Hiss entity. Hiss corrupted security guard. Confidential. Summary. The Bureau has many internal security personnel. The Hiss was quick to take advantage of this fact. Hiss guards used the standard-issue bullpup rifles they carried prior to corruption, while the armored guards carry pump-action shotguns. They had no observed paranatural abilities, with the exception that certain Hiss guards are protected by a shielding of dense Hiss resonance, capable of stopping bullets. Is this shielding a result of prolonged Hiss corruption? Does the Hiss mature in organic hosts over time? More data is needed. Did the Hiss target individuals with combat training? Does the Hiss have that level of cognizance? Does it utilize hosts for tasks they are best suited to? Combat-trained hosts are reserved for combat? These are all questions for later, though it is obvious that corrupted individuals retain knowledge on the use of their weapons. Refer to file unknown for the full report. And here's a photo of our guy.
So, again, like, first of all, that's a really good photo considering. Second, like, the Hiss are so analogous to the Taken that it's kind of crazy.
They might even be the same thing.
Maybe. Maybe not.
So much is expected from the director. The responsibility, privilege. Zachariah Trench. Zachariah? That's fucking made up.
I have never before this game heard Zachariah, but I love it.
Oh, we've got case files.
All work and no play make Jesse a... Who the fuck wrote this? No unique procedures required. The object's form is variable. When bound, the object allows para-utilitarians to unknown. This object must only be bound by individuals seeking the role of redacted. The object will determine whether redacted. If rejected, the applicant is terminated. This process is dictated by the redacted, though their criteria is unknown. The object was discovered inside the oldest house, in the room that is now used as the director's office. The popular hypothesis, redacted, many forms throughout history, redacted. Mjolnir, Excalibur, Varanastra, all weapons that redacted of their wielders. If objects of power are the convergence of forces based on the collective subconscious, then this may be the original manifestation of that event. If this is the case, redacted. See Dr. Darling Presentation 11.1 for more details.
So this is the weapon of all weapons. This is like the magic weapon. And it changes forms throughout history.
At least that's the hypothesis.
This is going to be a lot of reading.
It's going to be a lot of reading, and it's going to be a lot of shooting.
And hey, I like doing both of those things.
At the same time, if I can. That's why I have a microscope attached to the back of this pistol here.
No, you use it as the scope, so you can shoot bacteria.
Shoot the Volbachia at the enemies. And watch as they succumb to the parasites.
Yeah, how about this fucking thing, huh? Hey, get ready. You just did a whole lot of reading, now it's time for a whole lot of shooting. So, combat in this game is interesting in that a lot of the conventions of what we're used to kind of are not here, in that health pickups are, like, health doesn't regenerate. Health pickups are thing of you need to be attacking in order to get more health. Also, reloading is not a thing. So it is both a because it definitely fits the mold of like everything else going on. Also, those shotguns will fuck you up pretty bad.
An enemy. Corrupt. Spreading.
The game freezing constantly will also fuck you up.
Control point.
Yeah, I'm
Does
noticing that.
Help me fix it.
Oh, I love this fucking spatial effect is so good.
It's like, imagine, well, you don't have to imagine it because you're looking at it. It's all the screen effects from Alan Wake turned up to 11.
And like overlaid on top of each other. And this is just the kids' gloves. Like, the game is this.
This is your, like, run-of-the-mill. Oh, look at that. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. You know what this game is, also?
What?
This game is beyond Two Souls, but done by, like, a director who understands the conventions of storytelling.
Can you hear me?
And isn't a creepy pervert.
Oh, we've got outfits. Well, we don't
Yes,
have
we do.
outfits, but there is the potential for outfits.
What if I told you that one of those outfits is in fact a coat? Like a long coat.
I will probably use that one when we
I
get
can't
it.
tell you how happy I am to talk to somebody sane.
The feeling's mutual. Yeah, I'm Pope,
Hey, when you've
Emily
got
Pope,
character
Dr.
models
Darling's
that look as
assistant.
pretty as this game does,
My turn.
you might as well get some
I
more
lie?
options for clothing.
Jesse Faden.
Also, here comes a
I'm
lot
just
of
visiting.
talking, so let me
should've
know when
lied.
cutscenes are happening.
Shit! You're the new director. Hold on. We're coming out.
Oh, look at you. You've got, like, some bullshit on.
Director Faden.
Call me Jesse.
Kind of look like an
Okay,
elf, also.
Jesse. I'm Emily.
Yeah, what the fuck? Look at that ear.
Somehow, this
I don't think it's
hostile
supposed to be
force,
that way.
this-
Hiss?
that
But when I
works.
first played through
Somehow the
this, I
hiss
looked
managed
at
to
her and I
infiltrate the
was
building
like,
without any warning.
And just like
is
that,
she
my name
supposed
for
to
it is
be an
official.
elf?
The hiss. Like the sound of poison gas. leaking
She
in.
looks like an extra
You're in
from,
full
like,
lockdown.
John
It seems
Favreau's
to have
Elf
spread
with
everywhere
Will
and to
Ferrell.
everyone
Yeah.
not protected by an HRA. And, extraordinarily, you. You are the director, and that makes you special by definition. Trench is no longer the director, obviously. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. This whole situation is just a lot.
Trench is
For
dead.
all of the things that this
Shot.
game does really, really well,
I found his
there
body.
is a serious uncanny valley
Yeah,
thing
but-
going on with the
Do I
characters.
tell her it looked like a
I'm
suicide?
not entirely sure that
service
it's
weapon.
unintentional,
Also,
but it kind of
and
feels
this can sound
unintentional.
crazy. But he keeps appearing to me,
Because, like, Jessie looks
saying
great
things.
right up until her mouth moves.
It's hard to make out.
In the
but
same
he
way
told me
that,
to
like,
cleanse the
anytime
control
somebody
point.
in Alan Wake would open their
Push the
mouth, it
hiss
would be
out.
like
The Nutcracker jaw.
The whole room
Yeah.
shifted around.
You did that? And you entered the building when it was already in the
I
lockdown
find that, like,
before you became the new
whatever it
director.
is with the facial rigging in this
How?
game, like the
I'm not ready
jaw
to
will
tell her about you
slide
yet.
forward a lot
janitor
in
let
weird
me.
ways.
Hmm.
I love it. This is fucking unbelievable. I can't even.
Especially on lower graphic
Look,
settings, as
Jesse,
you might imagine.
I have a million questions, and you probably have a million more.
Like, do you know my brother Dylan? Not yet.
But there's
When
something
little
I
is
need to
going on in
ask
the
you
way
to
of
do
motion,
first.
it looks really good.
If you can
But
cleanse
sometimes
a control
characters can
point,
just look like really
then you can
creepy.
maybe cure those infected or possessed by the hiss. Because if that's possible, our options are very different.
Emily Pope. I don't know her, but I like her already. She's the opposite of the faceless agency I've blamed for what happened to me for
Talking
so
about
long.
One of the things that I appreciate
can't trust
a
her
whole
yet.
lot in games like
Or
this
rather, the bureau
is,
she's a part of.
well,
Yes.
just games in general. I really appreciate
try.
color, like the use of stark
I'm
and
speaking
bold
for you, of
color.
course.
Mm-hmm.
We can try it together.
And Control has a really excellent sense of when to
Okay.
break the rules.
You with me?
And also
before.
that more colorful
Push the
and
hiss out.
bold is the way to go.
Also, mention was made of an HRA. I'm going to hazard a guess and say that the RA in HRA stands for Reality Anchor. Or something similar.
Something similar. Pretty much all of the You're gonna be on the ball with a lot of this stuff. I find the naming conventions in Control to generally be pretty excellent. There's very little about this game that I don't like. Like, astonishingly little.
We've got stuff, got missions.
You can mod yourself, and you can mod your weapon.
Examination of paranatural topics. Control points. Control points are locations that the Bureau has identified as being vital junctions of the oldest house. When the appropriate harmonization devices are arranged around the control point in the unknown arrangement, the surrounding area will not experience any unforeseen building shifts.
Capital letter.
These control points are discovered by, we don't know, the detection of an unobstructed ping using the Babat within a 37-foot radius. Numerous researchers have attempted to define the control points, calling them nerve junctures or scabidibu, or vulnerable spots of the oldest house. The common factor in these theories is that control points are susceptible to external influence, which allows us to stabilize the oldest house and work more confidently inside it. Theoretically, this technology could be extrapolated to stabilize the oldest house as a whole, but testing has found that certain parts of the building refuse to be Badupadi. Refer to file 7252788 for full report.
We don't know what any of this stuff does. Our smartest people have no idea.
No clue whatsoever.
Look, best thing that we can tell you is don't touch it, and maybe it won't kill all of us in our sleep. Maybe. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say don't touch anything.
Hey, don't touch it though.
We have a highly paid group of researchers working tirelessly around the clock to tell us I don't fucking know anything. I don't know, seems like magic, Captain. I love those tube shoots. Like mailroom tube shoots.
Yeah.
Those are, like, ever since I was a kid, and honestly, ever since Futurama, I've just wanted to ride inside one of those.
Really? You want to ride inside one?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Just burst that shit open. That health pickup is a really good one.
I think it'll come in handy.
The action in this game is pretty frenetic. Like, in the sense that you have a lot of control. You know, control. But, at the same time, you dish out a lot of damage and you take a lot of damage. The later parts of this game, especially, like, there's one sequence in particular that I'm thinking about where the combat is pretty punishing. And that's kind of the way that Remedy games always go. Alright. Let's try it. Let's help this person.
Hey, are you alive? No.
Fucking not anymore.
It didn't work. The hiss has burrowed too deep. Ripping it out rips them apart.
So it turns out
I still have a reason to kill people.
You can't get the hiss out of people. And if you try, the people are now dead.
Field research on Hiss entity. Hiss corrupted agent. Confidential. The Hiss manifests in human hosts in numerous ways. The most common and least intense form is seen in the many corrupted agents floating throughout the Bureau. The Hiss agents have maintained their human appearance, undergoing no obvious physical transformation. The most notable distinction from an unaffected human is the fact that they levitate. These hiss have displayed no aggressive behavior. They only seem interested in vocalizing the strange incantation ad infinitum. I'm kind of losing it here. Perhaps these vessels are only meant to propagate the hiss corruption, like spores or Wi-Fi boosters. Or are they cocoons, preparing to enter their next stage of evolution? When attacked, hiss agents disappear, perhaps entering a state of invisibility or undergoing a transformation into a purely resonant form. Research is ongoing. Refer to files for full report.
Just because I'm still on a delay, just give me a heads up when you pick something up, and I don't mind reading it because there's a fucking lot of reading.
There's so much reading.
Also, I really like the line like spores or Wi-Fi boosters is hilarious to me because it's like that is such a thing to put in here for people who are, let's say, young or stupid. You know, propagation of the species, like a Wi-Fi booster. You kids know how a Wi-Fi booster works, right?
I can't cleanse them.
What do you mean you don't know about mushrooms?
It was worth a shot. Thank you, Director.
What do you mean you don't know about mushrooms? Don't you kids go to school?
No.
I'm gonna tell her why I'm here.
What do they teach you in school? They taught us about Wi-Fi boosters.
Listen, the Bureau
Can't
was
get a job
involved in
dealing
an
with mushrooms.
incident in my hometown.
Well, you can, but
17 years ago.
Hometown is called
The
Ordinary.
Bureau came in and covered the whole thing up.
keep that in
I've been
mind
looking
too.
for this place for a long time.
That's enough. Maybe that's too much already.
Yeah, something about the way that her jaw animates.
I've seen mentions
a
of
little
an
off
altered world
to
event
me.
case dealing with Ordinary.
Like everything is great except
You
the
were
jaw,
at Ground Zero as a child?
especially
was
watching
one
it
of the
without
big
audio.
ones, and before my time. And very classified. I can try to dig out some old files for you. My boss, Casper Darling, would know, but he's missing. I think he knew this
Yeah, I
was
bet he's
coming,
floating
or
around somewhere.
suspected. He came up with the
Probably out
HRAs,
there.
the Hadron Resonance Amplifiers.
Ah.
They're what saved us. Or a few of us. And Director Trench would know. Trench. The ghost, or whatever he is. He
So,
mentioned something
as
called
somebody
the
who
hotline.
likes
Said I should find it.
Alan Wake quite a bit,
It's another object
it-
of power, like the gun.
I
an old
really adore
Bakelite
the fact
telephone,
that Dr.
a
Darling
direct
is in this
line of
game as much as he
communication
is,
between
and
the
that he is
director
such
and the
like a
board.
prominent character.
Maybe he can talk to you more clearly
Because,
through that. I mean, Trench has
like,
years and years
we don't
of
get to see it too
experience.
much in the main game
He
of
might
Alan
know how
Wake
to destroy the
because it's
hiss.
mostly in like the TVs
Where is the hotline?
and some
It's
other
kept in the
extra
communications
stuff.
department through
But
the
he
mail
plays
room.
Alan
It's
Wake
part of the
in
sector,
like
so we can access it even with the
music
lockdown in place.
videos. He
We'll get
plays
the door open
him
for you.
in the
Okay,
DLC quite a
that's
bit,
my
and
next
he's
stop.
great. Like he's a
That's
great
Tomasi's department.
charismatic
He's
dude.
the head of communications. I don't think he had
And the
an
fact that he's in
HRA.
this
He kinda
game
made a
and
point
getting
about
as
not
much
wearing
work
one
and
earlier.
attention as he is makes
Keep
me
an
really
eye out.
happy.
They call me the director. But that's not me. I'm not a director type.
Because he might as well
Not a
be like
leader.
your Cave Johnson, but not an asshole.
Why am I here? I think you already know. Yes, I came for my brother, but there are other reasons too. I said I was looking for answers, but I might never understand them. I'm not looking for proof. This is already it. More than enough.
Something about
No
this
matter
game
what
I
they
also
told me
really
all
enjoy
those
is
years,
how
I
much of
know
it is running off of
it's
like
real now.
a sort of dream logic.
I didn't
Yeah.
imagine this.
The idea
I want to
of
be a part of this world.
going to work and being told,
What
hey,
scares
guess
me
what?
shitless is that I
You're the new
finally found
boss.
it.
Is
Only
like
to
the
see
stuff
the
of
hiss
stress dreams for
destroyed
sure.
all.
Also, take a look at this fucking cage. This is the most David Lynch shit I've ever seen.
Phone's ringing.
Also, the sound on this phone is like, again, games with excellent sound design. Control is one of them.